Inside the Ark of the Covenant were the tablets of Moses, or the 10 Commandments. The literal laws of God that were given to Moses were kept in this ark underneath the mercy seat in the presence of God himself. And this is something for us to remember in just a few moments as we will bring this back to the forefront of our message. Not only the law of God and the 10 Commandments, but also in that ark with the law of God was a gold pot that was filled with some of the manna that God had provided during the 40 years of wilderness wandering. Now these two things speak of God's provision. The law, or the tablets, representing the Word of God, which represent Jesus Christ himself. An imagery or representation of the Word that was made flesh. A Christ who became the ultimate provision for humanity as the sustaining bread of life. Are y'all right? Also in the ark was Aaron's rod. The Bible would teach us that Aaron's rod, as it remained in the ark under the mercy seat and the presence of God in the blue flame, it was just a dead branch placed in the ark. But as long as it remained in the ark underneath that blue flame and the mercy seat, it wasn't just a dead, lifeless branch. But in the ark, that lifeless branch began to bud. It produced almonds, or in other words, it produced fruit. And even though there was no natural earthly source to nourish it or give it life, as long as it stayed in the ark under the mercy seat beneath the blue flame of God's presence, it would live, it would bud, and it would produce. I'm trying not to preach, but I feel something. It would produce fruit. It speaks of resurrection, and it speaks of dead things when they're in the presence of God coming back to life. And I wonder if there's anybody that understands when your mind was dead, but you submitted it to the presence of God. He brought life to a dead mind. When your marriage was lost and dead, somehow you got in an altar under the blue flame of God's glory, and he put life back into your dead marriage. I'm thankful that I serve a God that when I get in his presence, those things that have breathed their last will begin breathing again with a brand new life and a brand new vigor.